True. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another night in the great city of Odessa. It has been a quiet series of evenings since the last pseudo-Elysia from Saladrin. That's like quite a provocative affair. That has sent some of the more sociable kindred, or Canaanites, should I say, on various sets of tirades, rants. Many in support, many very much against Saladrin's event. The gusset mongers pinned up against each other as if it were I had an analogy for this, but then it left my head. I apologize. I'm not very good at intros. I've done a lot of these now, and I'm running out of material. But yes, the more sociable kindred are in more sociable Canaanites are in very heated discussions regarding Saladrin's event. It's been taking up much of the more courtly, delicate affairs of the polite society of Cain's children for the past week or so. And Margot has been whiling that time away, either gossiping in her bathhouse or dealing with the duties that a primogen must handle. And yeah, where is Margot right now?
What time of the night is it?
Let me roll a d12.
Me or is it?
Oh, okay. That's. We'll say night begins at 8 and ends at about 4, so I shouldn't really be rolling a d12, but there you go. We'll say it begins at 7. Makes a bit more sense. Yeah, it's about 1 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, so that should be a while before the. How long is it till the sun rises?
November, about 5, maybe even 6 hours if you're really pushing it. If you're really pushing it.
Then if she's probably, if she has nothing to do in her if there's no clan business, she's probably well, yeah, let's say she's walking around town, just around where the most beautiful gardens are, just contemplating and yeah, looking, watching, taking the view of the gardens. She likes gardens.
Okay. Yes, you're just walking around right now, kind of. Maybe you approach a local passerby and gossip for a bit if you're feeling self-indulgent. But so far your night has been fairly normal. There's more people back on the streets again. The curfew has ended. You found that feeding is much simpler than it used to be. There is no longer the military is no longer patrolling the streets. It's back to the more familiar city watch, and you no longer have people asking if you're allowed to be out at night, which is always helpful for a creature that can only be out at night. Um, as you wander around, where are you heading? Are you heading back home or to somewhere else?
I mean, right now she's probably just contemplating the garden, not really going anywhere specific. She might even be sitting and watching the garden.
Okay. After that, then.
After that, yeah, she's probably going. If she hasn't heard anything of anyone meeting, she's probably going home then.
It's a quieter night. Usually, if something is happening with the clan, Giles will go out of his way to contact you. And being something of the face for the rest of the clan, being of a similar age to yourself, but being a bit more connected to the city and its Toreador inhabitants, in part because they're all of his line, outside of one. But he has not. If he has been looking for you, he has not found you.
So
And
she probably
usually, and he is quite skilled at finding you.
okay.
You have found you. It's actually somewhat unsettling that there are places where you just don't tell people where you're going, and he somehow finds you there anyway when he has something to discuss with you. He certainly knows how to track someone down. But he has not tracked you down this evening, and you've just been kind of relaxing again, perusing the gardens. There's actually a very pretty garden. In one of the or at one of the local churches within the guild halls. It's a fairly small church, but you've passed it many times. You've always found the garden there quite beautiful. In fact, you know it to be one of the hangouts for one of the local Toreador, the Child of Giles. He acts as one of the priests there. He appears to have done well maintaining the garden or having someone else do it for him.
Okay, so yeah, she'll just. Well, after she's contemplating, if she sees him, she'll congratulate him on doing a good job with the garden, and then go home. If Charles hasn't caught up with her, so yeah, she's probably on her way.
Sorry. The person who maintains it is this guy, or doesn't necessarily maintain it, but he maintains the church grounds or effectively runs the place from the shadows, as a Canine does. You know he's effectively in charge of this area. It's not his domain, but he considers it something of an effective equivalent. Like, he obviously controls this area.
Okay.
You don't see him too much. He generally works with inside the church, but he has greeted you upon entering. He's gotten used to your presence. He's more or less allowed you, well, or you have made him give you free passage. But he is arranged so that you can come and go as you please. No one really turns their eyes towards you when you're seen entering or leaving this area at night. Your presence is noted here, and yeah, he appears to be inside the church when you go to leave. You don't see him. He's probably working in he's probably working inside probably inside his bedchambers, as there's a room for priests to sleep. Or the priest to sleep. So he's probably in there, but you don't really see him as you go to leave, but that's fine. Yeah. Again, you have this sort of understanding that you can come and go as you please, so long as you don't set the building on fire.
That's a bad idea. She's not going to do that.
Yeah, and he's made sure that the church's attendants have spruced up the garden for you, as you've come to appreciate the place and its luster. But yes, you are on your way home. And I presume you're walking home.
Yeah, probably. I mean, she probably has she probably has a horse, so to go there to get to her home. Because her home is outside Edessa, remember? So she probably has a horse to get there, just to make sure.
That's true. You make your way down the guild halls, past the city gates, down on the south side of the city, and make your way somewhat a small distance southeast to your estate.
And now roll initiative.
You get back to your estate, and you can see that your servants are largely just working away. Everything is normal. Everything is it's kind of as it should be. We're currently working on a garden for you. Seeing as how you've been taking trips to the church garden. We've been trying to create a more fitting view for your estate, so that you need not travel as far to find a fair view and a pretty garden to walk around. But as you walk, or as you ride into your estate, your horse is hitched by one of the servants, and you get off it. Do you mind making me a perception alertness roll?
Okay, just
it's difficulty 7.
Let's make sure how much I have. Perception alertness. Perception. Two successes if it's normal diff.
Okay, yeah. Oh no, it's difficulty 7, sorry. So unfortunately you fail.
So yeah, then I guess she doesn't see it. So she'll just make her way to, her chambers and put her armor on before doing anything else. Well, actually, so she probably keeps her armor somewhere else, somewhere closer to the entrance. So, but yeah, she'll put her armor on before walking around the house.
More than fair. You begin putting on your armor. It takes you about 10 to 20 minutes. It's actually, what kind of armor is it again?
It's heavy armor. Normally, let
Okay,
me
yeah,
make
it
sure.
will. Yeah, it will take you. It will take you like 10 to 15 minutes. Um, yeah, heavy armor. It's always
Yeah,
a
heavy
pain
armor.
to get on. And you have to undress, and it's convoluted and messy, and it helps to have servants around to speed up the process a bit. You manage to chop off 5 minutes. It only takes you 10 minutes. Um, as you approach the and once you've got your armor on, you begin walking, presumably to the cellar where
Yeah,
Priscilla is.
yes.
As you begin approaching the cellar, you don't really uh, you do not overhear the more or the frequent murmurings and weeping that you've come to grow accustomed to from the cellar.
Well, that's weird. She'll stop and activate aspects to heighten her senses and look around and hear and like hear around and whatever. Just check if there's nothing else.
You don't hear anything other than a sort of faint, weak breathing some ways into the cellar.
Her hand on her sword, she moves carefully towards the weeping.
Oh no, there is no weeping. That's what I.
Oh, sorry, there is
Yeah,
no.
you've grown accustomed to Priscilla's weeping and
But she
murmurings
doesn't hear anything,
that
even
kind
with
of
heightened.
echoes throughout the cellar. Yeah, this time you're not hearing this. She's been
Every,
in something. She hasn't been very lucid uh, ever since you've for lack of a better term, captured her. She appears to she has brief moments, sort of brief moments, brief hours of sanity, but then she seems to relapse into this state of mental inebriation, where she seems to not really fully understand what's going on around her.
so
She
even with
often
the
has panic attacks and acts in a hysterical fashion.
so even with the heightened senses, she doesn't hear or see anything.
No, but you do hear a weak breathing sound. It sounds a bit muffled.
Yeah, she'll move towards that with her hand on her sword.
Okay, you open the door. You begin heading down the cellar. The torches are still well lit. Everything seems somewhat normal. Nothing appears to have been particularly um, moved, altered, broken in any way. But you do see immediately ahead of you, about a meter from Priscilla's cell, just outside it, the uh, the unconscious body of your steward, your housekeeper, the person who manages your servants.
Yeah,
And Priscilla's cell door is very much open. Or her
she'll
cage door would perhaps be better. It's not. You don't have it's not, this cellar isn't a dungeon. You've probably just placed a large cage down here to keep Priscilla in. That would actually be much more likely.
So she'll move towards the man, being careful that no one attacks her, of course, just in case somebody's waiting there.
Yeah. What do you want to do with the unconscious steward?
First she checks if he's alive.
Okay.
Is he breathing?
What's your medicine? I know you can hear him breathing.
Okay.
You can hear it with your auspex. It would be very difficult to hear, if not impossible to hear with your auspex. He's kind of he's just kind of laying flat on the ground on his stomach rather than on his back. His breathing is obviously muffled as he's breathing against the floor. Do you want to roll me perception medicine if you have medicine? Actually, I can verify that. Okay, you do have medicine. You have a single dot in it.
I have medicine. I think I just have it at 1 though, right?
Yeah. Just roll me your perception medicine, standard difficulty.
Okay. Oh, that's a bunch. He's definitely dead, even though he's breathing.
Yeah, you're pretty sure his neck has been snapped. You begin to reconsider whether you actually heard his breathing.
She'll flip him around.
You flip him onto his back. There doesn't seem to be any change in his movements at all. Again, you think he might be dead. Probably beaten to death.
To make sure, she'll kind of put her ear to his heart.
Okay, and you're using Auspex to hear his heartbeat?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably still activated from when she activated before.
Okay, yeah, you do hear his heart. You can confirm that he is alive. Although, you have no idea how he got knocked unconscious at all. Why he's down there, how he got down here.
Okay, so being careful. That no one will do anything. She'll shake him, try and shake him awake.
Oh, he's unconscious. He's not. He doesn't wake up. Do you want to make me a quick wits alertness roll?
Yes, and I'll. What? That willpower.
Okay.
Activate. I use a point of willpower, and that's. Wait.
Oh, good thing you did.
Wait, that's 4d10. So wait. 4.
Okay, roll another 2d10.
Another 2. Okay. Oh, 2d10.
Okay, yeah, you get 3 successes. His keys are missing.
Oh shit. What does he have?
He normally carries them around his waist. They're pretty much always attached to his belt. But you see that they are missing. He does not have his keys on him, which does not happen.
Okay, what does he have keys to? Because Margot probably wouldn't give him keys to everything. Like there are a few things that she wouldn't give him keys to. But
he would need keys to He would need keys to every room in the building. Basically, because it's his job.
okay.
You know, if you want servants to clean your room and stuff, and you need to give them keys to your room and that. And again, he would definitely have keys to the cellar.
Yeah. That's sure. But so yeah, she'll.
He has keys to basically every room in the building. He he wouldn't have had keys to Priscilla's cage. Because I doubt that there would have been no need for it, right?
He doesn't. He wouldn't have. But still, the thing that
That is
cage is
Margot.
open.
That is. I'm asking whether Margot would have.
Oh, okay. Probably not.
Yeah. Then yeah. Again, Margot wouldn't have seen any need. I doubt. It's not like. I mean, I guess the cage might need cleaning, but I mean, it also has a ravenous canine in it. That's really just putting people at risk. So
Yeah.
um yeah, but he did have keys to the cellar.
Okay. So, but he did have his bet. Somehow the thing is open.
Yeah.
And Margot's not. And Margot and Priscilla's not in there.
Nope.
So yeah, she gets up. She'll summon her child. Charles. She'll.
Wow, rude. Um
I mean, she might be in danger.
so yeah. Your child lives in the city, so it will take him some time to get here if you decide to summon him.
Okay.
And that is if you're successful as well.
So what do I roll again to for summon?
If you want to roll for summon, it is blah, blah, blah. Let me double check real quick. Um, it's Charisma Subterfuge. The base. Have you used Presence on your shoulder in the past?
I mean, he's probably.
Yeah, okay, that'll be difficulty 4 then.
Okay.
It's Charisma Subterfuge.
Wait. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
I'm gonna roll your shoulder's perception awareness.
Six successes.
Okay, well, they're aware that something weird just happened to them, and that they're now dropping everything they're doing to fly to the south side of the city. So, after a few minutes, they'd probably presume it was you, so they won't actually actively try to resist. It's fortunate because I don't necessarily. That's the thing when you're being summoned, you don't necessarily know who's summoning you. So, yeah, you summon your child. You're not sure how successful you've been. It will take them probably at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get down here.
Okay. She does have a ghoul too. Her new ghoul is physical, so he might help, but just in case. But yeah, she'll move carefully. Go towards her chamber.
Before you do that, okay, yeah, that's fine. So you're going to go to your chamber, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're just going to wait there while your child gets down here?
Well, if he's not there, she'll probably wait there.
Okay.
You wanted me to roll something?
Yeah, before you go to your chambers,
Yes.
would you like to roll I'm actually because Margot just is because you've already made the decision that Margot wants to go up to her chambers. I'm going to make it a wits investigation roll rather than an intelligence investigation roll.
Okay.
On the in the general vicinity of the cellar, the cage, and the like.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same in wits and intelligence. I wouldn't have changed much. But investigation. Do I have
She's clearly
investigation?
thinking fast and isn't investing a whole lot in investigating the area. So.
Oh, okay, investigation. I should get investigation.
Oh, you don't have investigation.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, I normally don't allow people to roll. Um, if they don't possess the knowledge, is that's basically the standard rule. If you don't have a knowledge, you can't roll, make the roll for the knowledge because you're just uneducated in that area. If you don't know what to, if you don't know maths, you can't answer. You can't make a mathematics roll, for example. But in this case, you may roll your straight wits, difficulty 8, to gain basic service level details as to what may have happened here. You will not get as much information as if you had investigation, but you will
My
get some basic details.
streetwise. So my streetwise.
You
Oh,
don't know
straight wits. Sorry.
straight wits, yeah. Streetwise isn't a stat in Dark Ages.
Always good. Slash R. 3D. Nope.
Yeah, you're not entirely sure what happened here. From what you can tell, I should move to this guy and move to this. Here. From what you can tell, it's almost as if the door was just opened naturally. Like it doesn't appear to have been forced open.
What happened to the lock though? Is it just not there, or is it open?
Oh, the lock is open. So either someone had a key or was picked open.
Okay. So yeah, she'll carefully make her way to her chamber.
Hmm. It's possible the lock could have been forced open, but again, you have no idea whether it was or not. Like, if it was forced open, it was done so fairly elegantly so as to not arouse suspicion.
Okay.
But you have no idea how that lock came to be unlocked. You have Priscilla seems to be gone. You can't really see anything in the cage as to where she might have gone or where she might have went. There are no signs of forced entry or forced departure. And yeah, because you botched that medicine roll, you have no idea whether the person who is unconscious in this cellar was knocked unconscious, was like assaulted in some way, whether they were just drunk, whether they were poisoned, or whether they just decided to nod off on the job and fell over, or whether they just collapsed from exhaustion. It's very hard to tell.
I mean, I guess if something happened, not him being drunk, because it'd be a big coincidence to him just fall drunk in front of the cellar and then she gets out. But yeah, she's guessing something happened. She's not sure what, but she's pretty sure she's in danger. Well, she thinks she's in danger, and she makes her. Actually, she'll and while she goes to her chamber, she'll tell the guards, tell her people that are working for her, and the security people that are around to to look around if there's anyone that's not supposed to be there, if they've seen Priscilla.
Your guards report that they've not seen Priscilla. They haven't really seen anyone other than passers-by in the area. They will only say that there was a
Yes.
There was a wagon that stopped about 100 meters out from the estate. Um, apparently, judging from the looks of it, one of its wheels had fallen off, but no one really approached.
Okay, and is the thing still there?
No, it's gone. It left
Okay.
about um, 20, 30 minutes ago.
So about the time she got there, I'm guessing, maybe a bit before.
It was about 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes before you arrived back here at your estate.
So yeah, she makes her way to her chamber.
Okay. You wait for your child. And explain to the audience that we clearly have, and it's not just you and me, because we're not sad and alone.
Hello,
Who
other
is
people.
Charles? What is he like? How old is he? Probably not that old.
Charles is no, Charles isn't that old. He's probably around. He's been a vampire for between 20 and 50 years now.
Okay, well, we'll say 20 years. You've only been around a century.
She's the one that well, her family used to own land, and but something happened. They were betrayed, and then the land went to someone else, and time went on, and so when she came back years later, it became his family's land, and she, after a long time of working with him, and well, she befriended him, and then later ghouled him, and then later um sired him when she fully trusted him, and they have a good relationship. They don't. I mean, this she's using presence the summon on him, but it's not the sort of thing she normally does. She normally, being a being a woman that loves freedom herself, she likes not, well, she's not an evil woman. She likes other people to have freedom, people she likes, and she likes her sire. So if he's being summoned, he probably knows it's for a good reason. It's not just like on a whim. She doesn't like to use on him. She know if she uses, it's like this where she might be in danger, or it's for a good reason. But they have a good relationship going where she lets him do what he wants, and almost like it's, well, they're lovers, but they she has other lovers too, and he's grown to understand that. So, and he probably has his own other lovers. They're like, and so now the relationship is really one a very well toward or sire to child relationship. They're lovers, but they're also kind of, well, she's loves has this love for him that's not just the love of someone, of a lover, but of a child. And he thinks of her both like that a bit too. She taught him a lot. She taught him what it is to be a kindred, and she treats him well. So yes, they have this lovely relationship going. They have her lover slash childer slash friend.
All right. Yeah, it takes about 15 minutes for Charles to get there, but he eventually shows up.
So she'll tell him,
Oh, my
Charles,
darling sire, for what reason have you summoned me? You should know that's quite rude.
she'll smile. I hate to this, but it seems Priscilla has escaped. Might be, well, with what's been going on lately, I'm afraid she might still be here.
Escaped. How did she
The
escape?
gate was the
Didn't you have her locked? He kind of actually there are no servants nearby. He'll just say, didn't you have her locked up in a cage?
I did. Seems someone unlocked it, and the guard that was, well, taking care of that area was knocked unconscious. Not sure how.
Can I have a look?
Yes, of course. And she'll walk with him to the cellar, to the gate cage. I mean, sorry.
And he says as he kind of walks on down with you, I told you, if you're going to be Primogen, you're going to have more practical skills than elegantly cutting apart a disrespectful ghoul.
I'm learning the skills. It takes time. She'll smile.
Well, let's see if I can pick up on anything you may have missed. What I don't have this skill. I assume you've already checked the auras of the cage.
Sorry, oh, you see the what of the cage?
He's basically asking if you spirits touched the cage and all that.
Not yet. I wanted to make sure she wasn't in my room first. And actually, how much is spirit touch?
It's all specs free.
I make sure. I think she got all. Yes, she got all specs. Normally, she's free. Make sure
She
that
has access to all specs free.
yeah, she'll spirit touch the cage now that she's sure that.
Yep, just roll me perception empathy div 6.
Let me make sure. Empathy. And what did you say? Empathy and what? Intelligence.
It's perception empathy.
Perception empathy. There's one success. But it's a 10. Not that makes a difference, but hey, still.
Okay, single success. Yes, what you largely get from the cage, specifically, you hear sounds more than you see things. You hear the clanging of bone and skin against metal, a shoulder barging into the cage in an attempt to knock it over. You hear weeping and murmuring and screaming and desperate pleas for mercy, for forgiveness. All in the tone and voice of Priscilla. You can also attempt to spirit touch the lock. And pretty much anywhere else in the cellar. It's basically a cage. There's that place where she attempted to hang you up, where she staked you. So she, a kind of like a horizontal support beam for the ceiling. There's the various drawers, wine cabinets. Not actual cabinets, but where you put wine.
Yeah.
Um, inside the cellars. And various other food preservation facilities. There's all that as well.
And I'm guessing when there was like someone trying to the bone crushing towards the gate, there was grunting alongside with it.
Yeah, it was largely screaming and growling.
Okay, and all of it was Priscilla's voice.
It was all in Priscilla's voice.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so you have the lock and various other facilities inside the cellar.
So shall I say, all I could hear was the grunting and the crying that she normally does, screaming. It seems she tried to force the door open, but when she'll look at the lock, this wasn't forced open. This was done carefully.
What doesn't sound like Priscilla?
Normally doesn't, but she's been strange lately.
Actually, he shouldn't be rolling at that difficulty, so he actually does get a single success. He should be rolling at a decreased difficulty because he's using more specs. So he actually gets one success on that roll.
Okay.
He begins looking around. Well, for one thing, my darling sire, it appears that Priscilla may have escaped, but it's pretty obvious she hasn't done it alone.
I had a feeling. What makes you sure that?
Well, for one thing, the guy with the keys is over a meter away from the cage. Priscilla couldn't have reached that, so they were likely either the body was thrown down here, but based on how they've fallen, either their position has been altered by the infiltrator, or they were held hostage until they were forced to unlock the door down here and then knocked out.
Anything else?
The lock has been forced open.
It was done elegantly, then. Fully.
It was pulled open fairly slowly. It didn't snap open.
Well,
You wouldn't be able to tell, and well, I say this, I could tell, and I know very little about locksmanship. He says, rather amused at the completely made up word. Does beg the question of whoever got in here. Whoever did was quite experienced. Anyone snooping around by your estate recently? Anyone suspicious? Strange face?
I don't spend much time here now that I'm privileged, but the security here hasn't seen anyone.
Well, to be a bit more on the nose about it, any among us, because I can tell you right now, the way that lock was forced open, It certainly couldn't have been done by mortal hands.
It was probably I think, a Nosferatu could have been here. Or someone that knows how to hide and has the gift of potence.
True. But did they know that you had Priscilla down here?
I didn't let anyone know. Only the chef did.
How have your dealings with the sheriff been recently? I've never
As
met the
usual,
gentleman. As
we
usual.
get along.
You sound hesitant, my dear.
No, nothing's been the matter. He's helped me. So I was doing so. Guess no, nothing the matter. We get along. No, we are not the best of friends, but he is still someone. Well, he's an ally of someone I consider an ally. I don't think he would have sent someone. Well, it is possible. I do not think it's that this is what happened.
Were you going to hand Priscilla over to him?
Yes, we were. She was going to send men, and they were going to be allowed to get Priscilla out.
Neither gazes. Well, then, if that were the case, I doubt he'd send someone to break in.
As I said, I doubt that he sent that this was.
Anyone else who has visited you recently?
There was indeed a member of our clan, a certain OC. What was his name?
Regis Harcourt.
A certain Regis Harcourt of the Court of Love.
Oh, yes, I've heard of a gentleman. He's the Scourge from Toulouse.
She'll nod. Indeed. He was looking for her. I told her that if I found her, I would let him know.
Well, that is interesting. Why wouldn't you tell me that a upstanding member of our clan wasn't in this city? I'd have loved to have met him. It is strange, though. If I recall, Lady Duca was the child of Toulouse's prince.
So what was that?
Oh, Charles just said he got 3 successes on his Toreador law check, so he just remarked how strange it is. You said he was looking for Priscilla, yes? Lady Priscilla?
Yes.
On what grounds?
She did not say. He simply said that she was needed back that her sire wanted her back at the Court of Love.
Oh.
Did not specify anymore.
Well, that's about his... I suppose that's normal, somewhat suspicious. Lady Priscilla is the child of a prince of Toulouse, so...
You lagged out a bit. The prince, you said, of Toulouse?
She is the child of a prince of Toulouse.
child. Okay.
Frankly, I find it rather strange that she's out this far. You'd think with such a prestigious lineage that she'd stick close by to it.
How long? OC, do I know how long Priscilla has been in Odessa?
A few months.
A few months. Okay.
You met her on her first month there, so yeah, you have
Okay.
a pretty good time frame.
Perhaps I should have been more careful. Perhaps she was sent here by her sire, by the Prince of Toulouse.
Likely, she was going to go for the position of Toreador, and from what I remember, she has quite a feud with her blood sister, who was the former Primogen. Perhaps she was trying to make a point. I doubt she's happy with her child, though, that she seems to have ceded the position over to you.
Might even be angrier if she heard that we are lovers. Angry if she heard that the child she sent to take Odessa and become its Primogen has failed at her plan, and further if she heard that she is now in a close relationship with the new Primogen. Yes, I imagine she would have been quite unhappy.
Does line up with a scourge of that very domain showing up, asking to know where she is.
And that your frown. If she touches a hair on if she touches a hair on her head, and then she'll try and well, she doesn't breathe, but no, she tries to calm down.
That depends. Are you going to go after her?
Have duties here, but I do have to make sure. I want to make sure that Priscilla is safe. Is okay.
Charles looks around the room again. Well, your concerns may be warranted outside of the obvious. He walks into the cage, and he appears to be eyeing the ground. It's kind of hard to see what he's looking at. And then he kind of begins to palm his hands together around the cage. Or he begins brushing the ground with his hands. It's rather undignified for a Toreador. It's almost like he's got a one moment. Dustbin and brush, and it's effectively brushing something into the palm of one of his hands.
Found any more?
Yeah, and then he just tips his hand up. And kind of as these splinters drop from his hands, you kind of hear him. You hear him smell in Rowanwood. We've got a traditionalist.
I see. Do I know what it means? What they do with Rowanwood?
Rowanwood is one of the is a wood popularly tied to the staking of vampires. If you're going to kill a vampire with a stake, it is often preferred or even necessary sometimes to use rowan wood in popular myth. I'll
Okay.
give you that one for free. Technically, you should roll half wisdom on that, but I'll give you that one for free. Your childer is helping you out. He actually also puts his head down to the floor and sniffs. Oh yes. Oh. Yeah, she got staked good and proper from what I can smell here.
Do you think she was killed?
I don't smell any ashes or cinder, so unlikely. Well, apart from the torches, but that's a given. That should be destroyed. It is against the traditions. Then again, this individual has sought to breach your domain, so I suppose
She
anything
was
is off
about
the
to say
table.
something, but then when he said that, she's like, "Yeah, exactly."
But killed? I can't see anything that would indicate that. If she is to be executed, it's probably back within Toulouse.
Yeah, she grits her teeth. Let's check within the walls of this mansion first. I want to make sure that no intruder is here.
Of course, I'll see to it and reorganize your domain's personnel. If you don't mind me saying, they look a little bit rough around the edges.
Unfortunately, I guess I'll have new people. New, better looking people. I shall smile.
I'll see to it that the diamond is ground and sharpened. I'll leave you to your duties.
Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Of course. Always at your service, my sire.
And she'll, but yeah, before going to bed, she'll, with his help and the help of the people around, she'll look around.
Mm. Charles will join her if she's keen on it.
Yeah, she's keen on it.
Oh, in which case, the Sybaritic displays continue, even post kidnapping. Uh, as as yes, the plot thickens with the lady Priscilla and her mysterious rescuer. And that is where we shall
Rescuer?
rescuer, kidnapper.
You don't really usually stake someone when you go to rescue them.
Well, she wasn't particularly stable. But in any case, I think that is where we shall end this scene. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time.